I'm Ronnie Jo Scarlett. I'm a physical therapist with Schneck Medical Center, and I work in home health. This segment, we will be teaching and demonstrating exercise program for strengthening your legs. It will use balance at the same time as strengthening. The first exercise is just a marching in place. All the exercise have a progression, an easier, a little bit harder, harder, and then the ultimate. The easiest is hanging on. At home when you exercise, the best place to hang on and exercise would be at the kitchen sink. You hang on with 2 hands. As you get better, you can go to 1 hand, then you can go to a fingertip, and eventually to no hands. I will demonstrate using 1 hand today. The first one is just a marching in place. While you're holding on to your support, slowly lift each leg up and down. We're not bending at the waist, we're just marching in place. Up and down, back and forth. Repeat this 10 to 20 times on each leg, and would like to see you exercising twice a day. Marching up and down, slow. And remember, the progression would be 2 hands, marching, to 1-handed marching, to a fingertip marching when you're really getting good, and when you're great, marching with no hand support. Okay? The next exercise is a simple squat. Remember, the progression is from 2 hands to 1 hand to a fingertip to no hands. A squat is easy. I'll demonstrate it using a 1-hand hold. Holding on, keeping your balance, standing nice and tall, squat down and up, nice and slow. We're not going all the way to the floor, and we're just simply going down and up. A comfortable range for our knees, up and down. This is the squat. Repeat it 10 to 20 times, and we'd like to be exercising twice a day. Here it is with 2 hands, up and down, just a simple small squat. 1 hand to a fingertip, and when you're really good, no hands. The next exercise that we will be demonstrating is a leg lift to the side. It's the same progression as earlier. You start with 2 hands, eventually go to 1 hand, to a fingertip, and when you're good, no hands. I'll demonstrate it using a 1-hand hold. While you're hanging on to the kitchen sink, going to lift 1 leg up to the side, gently hold and down. Repeat that 10 to 20 times on each leg. 3, 4, I'm doing them slow, I'm in no big hurry. 5, now go ahead and switch the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a simple leg lift to the side. You start with 2 hands. Remember our progression. Do it on each side, then the other side. Then to 1 hand held, each side. Fingertip. And eventually, when you're really good, to be able to do a leg lift to the side with no hands held. The next one is a knee curl. While you're standing and holding on to your kitchen sink, the progression, remember, is 2 hands to 1 hand to a fingertip to no hands. For a knee curl, I'll demonstrate it using a 1-hand hold. You just curl your knee, lifting your foot towards your bottom, just up and down. Need to repeat this 10 to 20 times on each leg. So we do our 10 on one, then we'll switch and do 10 on the other. And remember our progression again. Start with 2 hands at the kitchen sink, lifting your legs, both sides. And when you're good, go to 1 hand, lifting, As you're getting much better, eventually to a fingertip. And when you're doing great, you'll be able to do them without holding on at all. Okay? Remember, it's 10 to 20 on each leg, and we're going to be exercising twice a day. The next one I want to demonstrate is a leg extension lift posteriorly while you're standing and holding on at the kitchen sink. You're just going to take your leg and lift it straight backwards. With one hand, it looks something like that. Do 10 to 20 lifts straight backwards on one leg, and then switch and do it with the other leg. Remember our progression. We always start with the two-hand hold. We'll do that hip extension lift. You take the whole leg backwards. Now I'm not cheating and dipping. I'm standing up straight and moving my legs. And as you get better, you'll go to a single hand hold. When you get even better, a fingertip hold. And when you're doing great, you'll be able to exercise without hanging on at all, with no hands. Remember to do 10 to 20 on each leg. The next exercise I'd like to demonstrate is a heel-toe raise. While you're standing and holding on to the kitchen sink, I want you to go up on your tippy toes and then rock back on your heels. Go up on your tippy toes, back on your heels. Up and back. Up and back. Remember our progression. Start with two hands hold at the kitchen sink. Up and back. Up on them tippy toes. Back on the heels so the toes come up. Up and back. Then we go to one hand hold eventually as you get stronger. And weeks after doing this, and you're even stronger yet, you go to a fingertip, up and down. And then eventually, when you're strong enough, you can do it without any hand holding. One of my favorite exercises for strengthening your knees through your quads and your hips through your gluteals is doing a simple sit to stand repeatedly. All you have to do is sit in your chair, scoot out you don't want to be way back in your chair and you don't want to be out too far, but scoot to the middle of your chair, put your hands on your handrails and just simply stand up and then gently sit down. Stand up and sit down. As you get better and better and stronger, you eventually won't have to use your hands at all. When your knees and your hips get stronger, and eventually you can remove your hands from the sit stand completely. And just repeat this 10 to 20 times, and we're going to exercise twice a day.